Hello, Internet. Welcome to my favorite games for 2016, or my top 5 games for 2016. I gave it a weird title when I first started doing these, but basically it's just my top 5 games from last year that I do at the beginning of the year, and then yet again this year I'm late, but not as late as it was last year. Whatever. February is a good month to do it. I mean January too, but it's like sometimes there's like games I haven't played that I want to play to be like, okay, was it that good? Was it in the top 5? I didn't get around to Last Guardian. Last Guardian is not gonna be discussed here because I didn't finish it. I played it, and then I just didn't go back to it. So yeah, and then I'm on my treadmill for my treadmill of games for this year. So it's like I'm already playing Gravity Rush, and then Horizon, and then Mass Effect, and then who knows what else. So I'll get to it when I get to it, if I ever get to it. Who knows when that'll be? But yeah, top 5 games. So this isn't like a numbered list as far as like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just, 5 games that I thought were really good that I played last year. And I was like, that one made the list. I mean, I wasn't playing them and I'm like, yeah, this is one of my top 5 games next year. That's not usually how that goes. I usually just like get to the end of the year and I'm like, okay, what did I play this year? And I'm like, what was on my top 5? And I'm like, Because when I was making this list, I was thinking about it, and I made some adjustments, actually, after I had my initial list. I was like, wait a minute, let me change some stuff up. So, there's a honorable mention after the top 5. But yeah, the 5 games, my favorite 5 games last year. So let's go down the list. So Uncharted 4, easily the best game of last year, in my opinion. Just like, as far as like graphics, storyline, character development, soundtrack, technical achievements of just looking amazing and playing amazing, and then the co-op, which I didn't care for at first, but then I was playing with the Saffron Gamer, and they dragged me through the muck of the before hardcore mode came out. We were playing on Crushing, so we did that. It's on stream somewhere on my channel. Check it out, whatever. Um, that was fun. So yeah, just yeah, and then like I hadn't even played Uncharted, I don't think, until last year. So I got the Drake's Legacy Collection. I played through those 3, and I played 4, and man, I mean I played the one on Vita, but I never finished it because I was like, yeah, whatever. So, but then after playing the Uncharted Collection, I was like, dude, dude, Uncharted 4. So I got that for cheap, I think, before 4 came out, and I played through it, and then man, yeah, like. Definitely helped. Like had I not played those 3, I think I would have significantly not have enjoyed 4 because there are definitely character arcs and storyline payoffs in that game where it's just like, wow, that was brilliantly done by Naughty Dog. And yeah, it's like I was never a fan of theirs because I had not played their games, but after playing their games, it's like, man, Uncharted 2 is like really good game. Like that's probably one of my top games like ever. 1 and 3 are really good. 3's kind of towards the end because there's too much action and shooting in my opinion. 1 is just like a good all-around game. It gets weird at the end because like the boss encounter is just like very different. 2 is just like yes, just so good. And then 4 is even better. Like 4 was just like just went straight to the top of like best Uncharted game ever. And then the Vita one, I'll go back and play. It was okay, but yeah, man, like, Uncharted 4, just, yeah. Technical showpiece because it looks so good, and then the gameplay is amazing because there's, like, stealth, third action awesomeness, yeah, and then, like, all the grappling and traversal stuff, and, yeah, it's just, like, a bunch of open areas that you can go stealth or go action and go loud. That was cool, a nice change up. I very much enjoyed that. There's a section where it's, kind of like Red Dead Redemption when you go to Mexico, and it just, like, fades into the music, and the music goes into the mix of the audio, and it just like is like music as you're playing, and it feels like you're in your own soundtrack as you are the like real-time director. That was super cool. But yeah, thoroughly enjoyed Uncharted 4. I can't really say enough about that game, but it was really good. Good job, Naughty Dog. Very good. Next game on my top 5 games. Another development studio I love very much, not Telltale. The Walking Dead Michone. I couldn't give it to Batman because Batman was good, but it wasn't great. It was good, but it wasn't like amazing. It didn't like go above that bar enough, like every other game that they've made. And also compared to all their other stuff, it wasn't it was kind of under all their previous games that I've played from them. I'm just like, man, that was so good. Not to say it was bad. It was good. It was just, not like into the stratosphere of like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. Because they did cool stuff, with the character and the mythos. But then I think with that baggage of having Batman is like you can only do so much with that character, so you don't feel like you're in a state of duress or like I could die at any moment, like a lot of the other games where it's like holy crap. So that's why I gave it to Walking Dead Michone, because it was that you only had 3 episodes, but it was like really good storytelling of just like here's a very focused, structured, linear arc we're gonna have on this character and like the adventures you go on. And then they also had the like the psychological horror, which was something I hadn't done before. That was really cool because you have like this whole time that you're playing as a character, there's like this whole like meta like side of what she's thinking, what she's going through. And then like PTSD, like there's some of that. There's some, is she hallucinating? Is she kind of crazy? What's going on? That was kind of cool. And then yeah, it's just like the other stuff they do with their Telltale stuff on like The Walking Dead. It's like you have the survivors, stuff goes down, and then there's walkers, and it's like people are dying, people are turning because that's or the same thing that happens to everybody else happens. And yeah, and then they had like the really cool openings on this one, where it's like like they did with the Tales from the Borderlands. Yeah, like every episode had like an opening musical ensemble, but in this one it's just like the same song, but it was cool because it's like opening credits, so it made it feel very cinematic. So that's really cool. And then I'm not familiar with this character because I don't watch the show or read the comics, so it's cool to see a character that's beloved by other people in this medium and be like, oh, okay, I see why so many people like this character, and just like slicing up zombies with a machete, or just like cutting people up. That's pretty cool. Oh, that's the other thing. It's like as the thing. Okay, not to like gush too much over Telltale, but like as like play more of their games and you see like their cross pollination of stuff that they've done before into like the stuff that they're doing, like future in the future or present, is it had more action. So it was like coming off of Tales from the Borderlands, there's more action sequences as opposed to just like QTEs where it's like one button push or one button prompt. I mean, sure, there's that, but there's like stuff that's more involved where it's like a combo of like 3 buttons. That's pretty cool. So, and they also did like similar but different stuff in Batman, but whatever. We're like getting away from Batman because it wasn't as good as It wasn't as good as Walking Dead. Like Walking Dead was just it goes there with like its content. So it's like that's another thing. I mean, that was cool about like Batman. It's like it's M-rated, and like, they actually had like it was more of an M-rated Batman than the Arkham Knight was. So that was cool. But as far as like story and characters and all that stuff, I love like narrative. That just it wasn't even close. It's like, dude, it was only 3 episodes, and that's the thing. It's like super focused. It wasn't having to wait a bunch of months for like one season. You had 3 episodes in 3 months, which was like the first time. I don't know if it's the first time ever, but it seems like there's always a long wait for Telltale games, and it was you could finally have a game where they had 1 episode a month, and you could sit down and play it every month and get the story over a long period of time. But it was also like a really like meaty, delicious just story, just like, oh, it's so good. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that. So that's my number 2. Okay, it's not my number 2. It's the second game on my top 5 games, because these aren't number 1, number 2, blah blah blah. Next game on my top 5 games last year, 2016. I'm Setsuna. This game was a nostalgic, just punch in the face of like, yes, everything about this game makes me feel so, or just makes me remember the good old days and be like, man, I miss the good old days of JRPGs and long epic adventures with great side quests. Well, I mean, the side quests were kind of but whatever. Like good supporting characters, good main storylines. I mean, that being said, the only like drawback of this game is there's a lot of not rehashing per se, but it's like you've seen this before in other games if you've played them. There's a lot of like Final Fantasy X here. There's a lot of, I mean, the battle system. I mean, I'm not going to knock the battle system because that was like another thing I liked about it is that it was the ATB style, so it felt very much like a throwback which is what I prefer to the modern like action everywhere. I cannot concentrate on what's going on. My brain can't take it. Oh my gosh. Too much going on screen. Ah, save me. So, like, actiony, very active combat. It was just like a, turn-based ETB style, which is preferred. And then, yeah, like the storyline and all the other stuff is very reminiscent of other games, but that was kind of cool because it wasn't just like one thing. It was like ripping, I'm not going to say ripping off. It's much more of an homage, really. Because there's all these parts where it's like, oh, this is kind of like that one game, or this reminds me of that one game, or that one time with that one thing in that one game, and like, yeah, or that one character, or there's that thing with the stuff, and the thing is very familiar, even though it's like a new setting with new characters, new adventure, which was cool because it was its own thing. It does a lot of things that's been done before, but it does it differently enough. It's got its own nuances to be like, oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm Setsuna. Yeah. Good job. Yes, I very enjoyed it. Oh, and then the soundtrack was pretty cool because in the soundtrack it's basically all piano. So it's like, you play it and it's like, is there going to be any more music in this game? Because it's all piano, but then it's all piano. I mean, it wasn't a bad thing. It was just like, that was a very neat, unique thing that I don't think I've encountered before. Of like, oh, just like a one instrument type soundtrack the whole way through a JRPG. That's pretty cool. That's pretty neat. I didn't see that coming. But yeah, pick number 3. I'm Setsuna for sure. If you like JRPGs, check it out, or at least the old school ones, because modern ones, they're very hit or miss in my opinion. And the 4th game, Abzu. Man, everybody was like calling this. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people call this like the Journey Underwater, but it's not Journey Underwater. It's basically just a exploratory. Well, there's more to it, basically. There's a lot to it, but to me, it was just very, I could appreciate it because it was just such a chill game of like, I'm underwater exploring. Oh, I can just sit here and meditate and like enjoy the view of the ocean. It looks amazing, like all the detail and all the character models and the rendering of all the graphics. Just, yeah. And like the deeper you go into the ocean, it gets darker as you get farther away from the sun. And the different creatures are different because they're in a different part of the ocean, so they've, evolved and adapted in that way. So that's pretty cool. You can like ride some of them. That's pretty cool too. So just a nice, relaxing. I'm gonna enjoy. That's a whole other can of worms of why it was relaxing when it came out. Sometimes you need a game like that every now and then to just, the chaos of reality to escape from. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed Abzu. So yeah. Let's see. Game number 5, the final game, would be Hitman from IO Interactive. So the cool thing about this game, I could see it being like divisive or polarizing, but it was very interesting because I don't think the feedback was that in this regard. So I thought it was kind of cool that people were on board. I guess that's it's probably because like people that were on board with it played it, but the way that it was released was not like, you get the whole game at once. It was like, here's episode 1, and then every month or couple of months we'll release more of the game. But then as the game is out, they're going to be elusive targets, which are basically targets on the stages that you've played through, but they're a limited time, and you can kill them, and you get like after a certain amount you get a reward, but then the rewards were kind of so I stopped doing them because it was all just outfits and costumes. I was like, dude, whatever. But basically it takes the Hitman the Hitman formula and shuffles it around to where you have one stage with however many targets and objectives, but then after you've completed the stage once, you can just go back and do it, and there's a whole list of just other ways to do the stage, which was pretty cool in my opinion, because I was like, it doesn't give you infinite replayability, but it gives you a lot of replayability with a very minimal set of, weapons and stuff. That being said, you do get more as the season goes on. So as you got to, episode 4, episode 5, because there's 5 episodes, you just had like a complete arsenal of, okay, well, how am I going to approach this? And how am I going to take out these targets? And then, because you've done so many, you could adapt your playstyle based on like how you played to get the job done. But then it's cool because every mission's different, so there's always going to be you might have your style of whatever it is, but you have to approach it from this perspective in this mission because there's a obstacle that prevents you from doing that. Because the final mission, I'm not going to like spoil anything, completely just turns the game on its head on basically how you've been playing it to that point, which I thoroughly enjoyed. Like the final mission, and then the final Sarajevo 6 mission, those two are the best missions in the game by far, and just they were so rewarding because they made them difficult, but they weren't like super impossible difficult. It was basically just, well, we're going to put you in a very hard situation, but if you play it smart and think your way through this, you can get through this very easily, which I thought that was just so awesome, because I played it the first time, or the second time, I don't remember, and I got like Silent Assassin on the final mission. I was like, dude, that was really awesome. You just like, if you know your route through the stage and just, go here, do this, blah, 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 get all your crap done, it's a very easy setup to just boom, 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 knock all the targets out, and like you just walk out and nobody knows, and it's like, oh, I feel so awesome. That's the other thing. It's like, it's like you just felt so badass as 47, and like so many of the hits, like you just like roll in and like be stalking your target, which was another thing in the game. It was like it kind of encouraged you to monitor your targets to like see what their behavior was. So you could be like, okay, well, what's their route through the stage? When are my openings? When I'm going to strike? Where I'm going to hide the bodies? Like all these weird questions you start thinking to yourself, as far as like I'm thinking like a hitman or a killer, and like how am I going to premeditate this murder? And like the more deeper I would think about it when I was playing, I was like, this is super weird and disturbing on the level, but I am thoroughly enjoying this game, and it's like really good. So yeah, I mean, there was like a downside as far as like the storyline was like kind of it didn't really have a payoff at the end. It was just whatever, man. We're kind of setting up to do in the next game what we already did in Absolution. So, but I guess it's better. It just seemed like more of a reboot, but then they have so many like previous references. So I don't know, man. It's just like, yeah, we're just playing with our universe and our characters, and we made this game, and we're just doing a different style, which I think is really good. It's just a very refreshing take. Because I played Silent Assassin and Blood Money. The other ones I haven't played. I have Absolution, I haven't played it. And then what's the other one? Oh wait, no. Silent Assassin and Contracts. Blood Money I haven't played, and then Absolution I haven't played. So it's like, I think this is my favorite. This is easily my favorite Hitman game. I'm glad what they did with the formula to like make it refreshing and different. Because compared to the other ones, man, just I always would get like frustrated or just feel a very high sense of trial and error. Where this one, it seemed like it was rewarding all your experimentation, as far as if you thought your way of how am I going to kill this person, or it sounds, because it gets super dark when I like keep thinking about the game of like that's what it wants you to do is just kill people, and like you have to think of ways to kill people. But basically that's like what it does. It's like, okay, here's your target, go and kill them. And so it's like, you get super creative about it, and then like when it has like the whole list of like, oh, here's all the ways you can kill this target and the challenges, and like the assassination goals and blah blah blah. Like, dude, this is, man, just like it just up the ante on like how you approach a Hitman game, and just think about all the different ways you can kill a target, and just if you get like really really good, it's just super rewarding, that too. That's why I got to the final stage. I was like, dude, this is so good, because you don't even have to basically fire a weapon in like the final mission to like get to your goal. So I was like, dude, that was super cool. But yeah, Hitman was really good. And then my honorable mention would be Farcry Primal, because it was a really good Far Cry game, and I keep forgetting it came out last year, and it hit all the notes. It did everything really well, and I thought it was super refreshing what they did. I mean, I was skeptical, but I was like, I'm gonna buy it anyway because I like Far Cry, about going back to the back to the literal Stone Age of, oh, there's woolly mammoths walking around and saber-toothed tigers, and it's very dangerous out here in the wilderness of the very pre-modern times. So yeah, it's basically Far Cry again, but better. I mean, not better, but it's like yeah, it's like depending on how you feel about it. It had crafting. It had the whole village thing. It was cool. It was good. I enjoyed it. I'm very interested to see what they do next with it. I'm kind of hoping they just keep doing that and just like going forward in time and not jumping back to the modern, or they go like modern then like old school and then modern then old school. And by old school I mean like back in time, not before we had guns and weapons, because that's what made this one cool. Is you didn't have guns, you just had bow and arrow, a spear, a club, like all these primitive weapons, but you could use them in very smart ways to get through the game and kill stuff. And that's pretty. It's very very entertaining and very fun. But yeah, those are my top games of last year. Um, I think I was gonna put Rise of the Tomb Raider on there, but it came out in 2015 on Xbox and One and 360, so it's like it's kind of old. Rise of the Tomb Raider, it's still pretty good because it's basically the if you like the original. I'm sorry, not the original, but if you like the previous Tomb Raider from Square Enix, the reboot, you'll like this one because it's basically the same game. Okay, it's not the same game, but I mean, it uses the same formula where you're stranded, you go through, you get your gear, you get your abilities, and you just find out what's happening, and then you mow down dudes that are doing bad things, and it's like, oh, I'm Lara Croft, I'm a badass, I can kill it, I can kill whatever because I'm so awesome. Look at me, and yeah, it's a fun time, fun experience. So those are my top games of last year. That's it for this video. So feel free to leave a comment in the comments about what your favorite games last year were. Your favorite game. Did you enjoy Uncharted 4, or were you playing something else? Because I hear a lot of good things about. Let's see. Yeah, there's a bunch of MOBAs out. I don't play MOBAs, so it's like F them. That's how I feel, because it's like whatever, dude. I mean, I'm not gonna knock you for liking them. So if you like Paragon or Heroes of the Storm or I mean, Overwatch isn't a MOBA, but whatever. I'm not into the whole PvP thing. I mean, yeah, whatever. It's weird. I don't want to talk about it. But yeah, I'm not gonna say anything bad about you though. If that's your game. Overwatch, the whole so fun. It doesn't even need a storyline. Yeah. Oh yeah. Overwatch. But yeah, that's it for this video. So, like I said, feel free to leave a comment about your favorite game or your games that you enjoyed last year or what you're looking forward to for this year. And yeah, until you see or hear from me again, thanks for watching, and I'm now signing off.